Hello and welcome to Paxton Road TV, PRTV Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur versus Brighton and Hove Albion tomorrow at 3 p.m. Welcome to the preview show. Welcome to the preview show. Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow against Brighton, which should be an exciting game if the away game has anything to go by, where we lost 4-2. Joining me this evening to do the preview show is Mr. Sean Hurl, Paxton Road TV, PRTV Spurs. Good evening, Sean. How are you?
Yeah, been a tough week for me. I went for a hospital appointment on Tuesday and didn't get out till yesterday, but that's enough of my travails. There's worse things happening in the world. But yeah, looking forward to the game, hoping that the boys can do it. It's, it's a winnable game because Brighton are as what's the word? Unpredictable. Yeah, as unpredictable as us, really.
Yeah, totally agree with you there, Sean. Totally agree with you. If you're joining us for the first time, or if you've already been following PRTV Spurs, please make sure you subscribe and smash that like button. We've also got a certain Sam Spurs for life in the comment section. He's on his way back. He's come back from feeling hot to now getting wet. So he's on his way home.
What a shock to the system that will be.
So he was going to join us, but unfortunately he's stuck in traffic, and he'll be joining us for the reaction show. So welcome everyone else in the comment section. So we gave it away as a draw last week against Everton. 2-2 draw. Slightly disappointing. I think Postecoglou said as well that it's the manner that we ended up conceding in the last minute, but it is what it is, unfortunately, with us. We've been saying it week in, week out, Sean, haven't we? That we need to fill these gaps, whether they need to get polyfiller or get some super strong fillers, because we're conceding every single game, and we need to stop. But on the plus side, and we'll talk about this further down the line, everybody's back. It's like getting the band together again now, isn't it? It's like, you can take whoever you want. Spice Girls, Take That, Backstreet Boys, whoever you want to talk about. They're all coming back together.
The Blues Brothers.
The Blues Brothers, whoever you want. Everyone's
coming back. Musicians.
Yeah, and for the very, very first time, Postecoglou has a very, very strong squad to pick from. I'd hate to be in his shoes now, because, boy, there's some dilemmas, man. Nelly and Kelly will be proud of the dilemmas that Postecoglou's got for tomorrow's game. So, Sean, how are you feeling going into tomorrow's game now, knowing that the bench is not lightweight anymore and the big guns are back?
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, it's it's, as you say, it's probably our strongest squad since that night against Chelsea, and that we're talking, that's like first week of November. So here we are, deep into February now, or at least into February. Yeah. And the fact that we're still in touch with the leading group, we're still, we're not that far behind the teams above us, and we're in the shakeout for a top 4 place, which would be beyond my wildest dreams pre-season. I'm more than happy, and I'm quite excited, looking forward to the game. Always a good game against Brighton.
Yeah.
Might be interesting because of certain disciplinary things, but we'll probably talk about that in the fullness of time.
Yeah, before we go and delve into the preview, David Clark, hi from Leicester. Hope everyone in the chat is well. Good evening, David. Sam Spurs for life, like I said, pit stop to say hello. He just stopped to say hello. No excuse for results tomorrow. Must win. Dinosaur is saying inconsistent. Eddie Ryan is...
Yeah, that's the alternative word to my unpredictable.
Yeah, inconsistent, yeah. Eddie Ryan, at least our bench will be looking a lot better, looking like we'll have a strong team out. So it'll be interesting. Right, so let's do it then, Shawnee. Tottenham Hotspur versus Brighton. And it is 13 times we have met in the Prem League. Tottenham have won 8. Brighton have won 4, of which Tottenham have won 5 at home. They've only won once away. They've won 3 times at their place. We've won 3 times at their place and 3 draws. 13 times shown in the Prem. So we've got double the wins against Brighton, which is good, but it's like you said, Brighton are very unpredictable, very inconsistent. So this tomorrow could go, it could be anything, couldn't it, really? Anyway.
Yeah, I think what their recent results suggest is that you need to score against them early and follow it up with another one. I mean, probably the result that stands out, and I'm sure we'll go into it, is the Luton away game. You know, I mean, that is a tonking by any imagination. You know, and you can say that Luton have turned the corner a bit, but there's no way you should be losing 4-0 to a team that far down the table.
Totally agree. 16th of March, previous meeting, 16th of March 2022, Spurs 2, Brighton 0 at the American Express Stadium. 16th of April 2022, Tottenham 0, Brighton 1 at the Hotspur Stadium. 8th of October 2022, Tottenham 1, Brighton 0 at the American Express Stadium. 8th of April 2023, Tottenham 2, Brighton 1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And you know what I'm going to put up? 28th of December 2023, Tottenham Hotspur 2, Brighton 4. Absolute staggering we got. 4-0 down, and then luckily we sort of saved the day with 2 late goals in the very, very latter part of the game. But we got an absolute battering that day. So 3 wins, Sean, and 2 losses in the previous 5 games against Brighton.
Doesn't really tell you much, does it, Sid?
No.
I mean, it's kind of, even Steven. We've got slight improvement on them. I'm sure Kane was involved in some of the goals in our wins, and it's just have to put that behind you and treat tomorrow's game like a brand new game. It's 11 players. It's 11 versus 11. And the things that you've been working on all week and the instructions that you've been given by the coaching staff on how to get behind Brighton, you need to remember, and don't let them get a foot in the game like we did against them, like we did at the Amex, and proceed to score goals, take the points, and set ourselves up for 2 more home games to come.
This is it. You know what? You've just nailed it. We have to attack them from the start of the game because we're at home. And in the last 6-7 games, I think we've seen that if you attack Brighton and you take the lead, and that Brighton sort of tend to find it hard to get back into the game. However, if you let them have the ascendancy and let them take the lead, they can sort of manage the game. But whatever happens tomorrow for the neutrals, this probably will be a very good game, and I'm sure a lot of neutrals will be like, why couldn't this game be live? Because Tottenham Brighton, two managers that like to play football on the front foot, so it's going to be a very, very interesting game tomorrow. And as a neutral, I think it's going to be one to watch. As a
it's made to be that 5:30 game, isn't it? I mean, when you can consider the fixture that they've chosen,
yeah,
our game is destined to be that one. But it's
big.
I know it's. I suppose they have to spread the TV money around the other clubs, and a Saturday 3 o'clock won't do us any harm, because that's traditionally when football's been played, and it'll mean that more fans can attend, and so that's good. That's good.
We've got a few 3 o'clock kickoffs. I think next week as well against Wolves it's 3 o'clock as well. So we've got a few coming up. Last 5 games then. Tottenham lost 4-2 to Brighton. Brighton beat Tottenham 4-2. Spurs beat Bournemouth 3-1. They drew 0-0 with West Ham. We drew 2-2 with Man United. They drew 0-0 with Wolves. We beat Brentford 3-2. They got paggered 4-0 at Kenilworth Road. And we drew 2-2 with Everton. They beat Crystal Palace 4-1. So we've won 2, drawn 2, lost 1. They've lost 1, drawn 2, won 2. So it's everyone's saying obviously they're on a bad run of form, but I think they've won 2, we've won 2, they've drawn 2. It's the same. Both won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1. So, like I said before, this is going to be a close game. You're on mute, Sean.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. They've I mean, it's like we've been saying, it's an even Steven game. We just need to gain control of the game as early as possible and take our chances,
Yeah. That's what it's going to be. And I think both teams are going to be going into this game, and I think both teams will be saying we've got to take our chances, because they know. I think both teams know both teams will concede goals, and both teams know, or both managers know, both teams will score goals. I think tomorrow is just going to be a matter of who concedes the less and who's going to score the most.
Yeah. I mean, think back to the game that we played. It's only 5 league games ago away at their game.
Yeah.
If Højbjerg's shot hits the post and goes in, to make it 4-3, I think we get a point out of the game. Late as it was, I think we can. They certainly got rattled in that last 15 minutes. It just took us for 75 minutes to wake up and actually make something of the game. But it's hopefully he picks the right team. He's got players that are focused, positive, want to do well, whether they're coming back from international disappointment or not. It should be a great game. It should,
yeah. And then knowing all,
but it'll be and it should be a great game with a Spurs win.
Yeah, hopefully. I just hoping after all that it's not 0-0, which which will be very. I can't see it happening, to be fair, 0-0. But right, so season so far then, Tottenham are 5th, Brighton 8th. 13 times we've won. Brighton have won 9, 5 draws as opposed to their 8. We've lost 5 times. They've lost 6 times. Average goal scored per match, 2.13, 1.83 to Brighton. Where's my thing gone now? Look, I've lost my cursor. Where are you? Oh, here we are. Average goals conceded, 1.65 to 1.52. So like I said, I was saying both scoring, both conceding. So it's quite close. 5 clean sheets to Tottenham, 2 clean sheets to Brighton. So they're not very good at keeping clean sheets, which is quite good. Chances created per match, 1-7 Tottenham, 2.09 Brighton. Again, attacking both sides. Biggest win 5-2 Tottenham, 4-1 Brighton. We lost 4-1 as our worst defeat, and theirs is 6-1. So looking at that, Sean, goals scored 1.83 to 2.13 to Tottenham. Goals conceded were near around the same, and then chances created. It just what we've been saying, in it. Both teams are going to create, and both teams are going to concede.
Yeah. I mean, it will. It should be an open game. We know what Brighton are going to do. They're going to try and build from the back. They're going to put the centre backs are going to put the studs on the ball, try to outpass us like they did particularly in that first half at their place.
Yeah.
And we need to stop those pressing. We need to be good in our press, and I think that's one thing that Richie has been good at, and I think we just need, he needs the support of a Maddison. Maddison is a really good presser, by the way. I think he's it's kind of underestimated part of his game, and we just need to recover the ball as high up the field as we can. Turn them into chances.
Yeah, that's the thing, innit? Both teams, like you said, it's going to be an interesting game because both managers will know the weaknesses of the other team. Both managers will know the strength of the other team. And is it going to be a matter of we've got to outscore the other team to win the game? I personally think that's what it's going to be. The other team's whoever wins tomorrow, are going to have to outscore the other team because both teams like to play on the front foot. Both teams sort of like defensively as well. Players, I think the important thing for them is obviously Pedro and Mitoma, players like that. Whereas now we've got everyone back full. I mean, we did have all the players before when we got 4-2, apart from the injuries because AFCON hadn't started and they all went on the 1st of Jan. So all them players were there in that last game when they beat us 4-2. But it will be very, very interesting. Right. So now this is right. So before I go on to the team, let me just see what a couple of people are saying. David is saying, yes, De Zerbi is not going to be on the bench tomorrow because he's on a touchline ban. So he'll be in the stands, which is going to be, I think that's massive in terms of a loss for Brighton because him not being on the touchlines, I think could be pivotal because he likes to do a lot of stuff from the dog line. Now, whether they're going to have somebody from the stands talking to him in the dugouts, think it'll be a big miss not having him on the touchline.
There's no doubt about it. It'll be a big miss for Brighton that the coach is not on the touchline. He's very good at reacting to changing play, but they'll have their methods to get communication down to the touchline. It's just a question of whether there's that inbuilt delay, and in that inbuilt delay, if Tottenham taking advantage of it, the fact that they score a goal or something like that, and he's not able to react. So. There is that. I noticed that in his press conference today, and said he was hoping to see him anyway, Robert De Zerbi. I think there's a mutual respect there.
Yeah,
and they understand that he was saying he himself is only one yellow card away from a ban. So
yep,
it could happen to us, and I must admit I wouldn't like to see us with. And on the sideline, but there was a break. It's probably likely, particularly as the games get really, really, more and more difficult. I'm thinking of those April games, for example. That we could be without hands for one of those games, and that will be tough. That will be a tough call.
Yeah, and do you know what? I totally agree with you. Not having Ange on the touchline, but then again, though, with the coaches that we've got, and if he's sitting in the stands, I think it will. But let's just hope he doesn't get that yellow. Right, in terms of then, obviously what I think the team's going to be, it's like you said, everybody's now back. Everybody's injury free. Everybody's come back from AFCON, Asia Cup.
Well, not everyone. There's no Solomon. There's no Sessegnon. And there's no
Lo Celso.
No, Lo Celso's available.
There's only two. We only said Mana Solomon and Sessegnon are the only two injuries. He said everybody else is back training, playing. He said Lo Celso's back in training, but he doesn't think he's ready to play tomorrow, but might be on the bench. I'm not too sure. But apart from that, everybody else is fit. So this is the interesting one. David, please, if you're in the comment section, don't go mental. Don't go mental. Right. So Vicario in goal. Needs a lot of protection tomorrow from corners. Pedro Porro, right back. Destiny Udogi, left back. Mr. Christian Romero, centre back. Mickey van der Van, fastest man in the Premiership, the 100-meter king, whatever you want to call him, back in centre back. Back five doesn't change at all, does it? I know there's Dragushin, he's got to come in at some point, but at this precise moment, I'm not going to lie to you, Sean. I had Dragushin coming in instead of Romero, and then I was casterized by my son. He said to me, get him out, put Romero in, because Romero is not going to get dropped for nobody. He is a pivotal man to this back, so I had to change it and put Romero back in. But I wanted Dragushin to start, and the reason I wanted Dragushin is because protection for Vicario. Corners has been a problem last couple of games, and I only put him in there for his height, his strength, and give some protection. But I know this is going to be the back five. Do you think it's going to change, or is this what it's going to be?
There's nothing to indicate that he's going to change it. And I think, yeah, I mean, they'll be working on defensive set pieces. And we have to remember, it might be, you know, we're saying that Vicario needs protection, but he may say, I don't want a player in my way. If I want to get to a ball, I want to be able to get to a ball. I don't want to have to go through my player and the defender to get to it. So, you know, this idea that he's, you know, that he's not able to, you know, maybe he just needs to sharpen his elbows up a bit. But, you know, I don't want him to be the first person to be given a penalty away at a corner either. You know, yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know Brighton will try and do it. They'll try and do it. They've got Batuma, who takes really, really good corners. They've got Dunk. They've got really big centre backs.
That's what I mean.
They could do that. But, you know, I'm between Rob Birch and the defensive coaches, Jedi and who it is now, one of the coaches who work on defensive set pieces, they will have had a plan. There's a plan in place, you know.
Hopefully.
You know, so we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to go in worried about what the opposition are going to do. I want to be going there happy to see what our team are going to do. To be honest.
Oh yeah. 100%. I mean, David, if I see a Brighton corner or a free kick out wide and we don't put a defender in a position to stop our opponents taking the piss by pushing our keeper, I will lose the plot. That is what David is saying is my only worry, that somebody, like, you look at the other teams, and I think I was watching, was it the Arsenal game or somebody the other day, and they had Jorginho or somebody protecting the keeper, or in front of the player who was trying to mock the keeper.
Ben White. They use Ben White, Arsenal, and they've been doing it for weeks.
Yeah, so we need an enforcer.
Yeah.
So we need an enforcer, somebody just like that day, Morpay just needed a kick up his ass, right? Yeah, and you know that's what we need to do is have somebody protecting Vicario. Okay, Vicario might not want to come out or do whatever, but we need to have somebody in place. If there's somebody marking Vicario, then we need to have someone to try and eliminate that. And I think David's correct. If that happens tomorrow, because like you said, Sean, Dunk is a big unit. They've got a couple of big units in there, and Vicario will need protecting from them big. And if there's no one there, if they do that zonal marking and they're leaving somebody to mark Vicario or push him or whatever, it will be very, very interesting. Right. Now, talking of interesting, would you want to be in Postecoglou's position tomorrow when it comes to picking the midfield? Because now he's spoiled for choice. He's now got a massive, massive decision now to make. Who does he go with in this midfield? I have gone for, and people in the comments.
This is you anticipating Ange, yeah? Or was it you just your team?
What I think, right? And I'll give you my reasoning. Bentancur in the 6, Papasaw, and Maddison. Now you'll be crying out, people will be crying out saying, no, Bissouma's got to stop, Bissouma's got to stop. The reason I haven't put Bissouma into stop, even though Postecoglou said, yes, he's fit, and Son's fit as well, they're both fit, he had this issue with the malaria, right? So he didn't play that much for Marley. Now, Postecoglou was asked the question in the press conference, and Postecoglou turned around and said, nope, he's not suffering from malaria. He was suffering prior to the AFCON and for the first odd game. Since then, he's been fine. He's come back here. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him. He's fit. He's fully fit. And he's available tomorrow. But me, personally, although Bentancur's not been playing too well yet, I think Bissouma just needs a few more minutes to come on, maybe off the bench. Because if we need to tighten the game up or whatever, we've got him on the bench to come and sort of tighten it. So I think we need to now get him back to how he was before he went to the AFCON. And obviously, Maddison, there's no way this guy doesn't start from now to the end of the season unless, I'm not even going to say it, but this guy's a starter. That position is his. Bentancur, Saw, them two positions now are wide open because obviously you got Bissouma, you got Højbjerg, you got Skip. It's going to be very, very interesting. What's your thoughts on that middle three then, Sean? Are you expecting them or are you expecting something different?
I think I would. My only concern is that I think Bentancur is still not fully 100%.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether there's a case for Bissouma there. But today, at this minute, I would go with that 3. I would just swap where Sarr and Maddison are. I think Maddison plays more on the left side than the right hand side. Yeah. And Sarr on the right, because then he can get in behind Porro, but Porro's caught upfield. So I would definitely have Sarr in the team tomorrow. I can't disagree with that 3. My one concern is just how fit is Bentancur. No doubt they'll have seen through the week in the training that they've been doing this week, so
this is it. And the thing is as well, and I think David's saying here as well, Bissouma's form doesn't warrant a start, and I'm his biggest fan. I think there's a lot of fans of his, and I think they'll be in the same boat. When he started, he was on form. And then that Chelsea game, and then after that, when he got that red, and then he got the second red against Luton, his form sort of dipped, and then he was sort of like walking on glass, and he was, if I do this, am I going to get another yellow? Am I going to get this? So he sort of dipped in form. So at this precise moment, I don't think he warrants a start. However, I'm not Postecoglou. Let's see obviously what Postecoglou's got to say about it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, perfectly well.
My camera's gone off. I don't know why. Camera's gone off.
We're
That's all
denying
right.
the smiley face.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but let me see if I can fix that. If I can fix that. Right, so that's the 3. Now I'm just gonna see if I can change my camera, Sean. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
Where are we? There's okay. Where is it?
I'm still ruminating on why you thought Dragusin was going to get a start ahead of Romero, but maybe you can tell me that off air.
No.
I couldn't, I must admit, I've been seeing this repeated critique on social media of Romero not being able to pass down the right hand side, and it's something I have thought about. He does tend to pass right to left, doesn't he? Even when he goes forward, he's always looking for the diagonal inside. It's not he doesn't ever seem to sort of like release whoever's on the right wing, whether it's Kulu or Johnson or whatever. And I just wondered why that was, but maybe that's the way I suppose that's just the way it is, and presumably he can only pass down the channels which are open to him. So it's up to those people on the right hand side, Poro and Kulu and Johnson, to make themselves available to him. But yeah, interesting. And he does like to carry the ball as well, Romero. I'm not sure that I've seen enough of Dragusin yet to see that he can carry the ball.
Yeah, I think. Can you hear me, Sean?
Yeah, I can hear you. Perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Yeah, I think the Dragusin one, I just wanted a bit of height in there, and I think he needs to start at some point. But you know what? It was only me. But right, so this is where now I think some people are going to get angry with me, but I'm going with Johnson on the right. Sorry, David. Son on the left. And Richarlison up top. I'll tell you why, right? I don't know about Werner starting on the right. I've not seen him on the right, but I might be wrong, and he might play him on the right. He might even play Sonny on the right. I don't know. Johnson, I've gone on there because when he came on, he played quite well, and we're at home, so I'm gonna give Johnson a start. I know I've been a bit of his, not slagging him, but I've been saying he's not been on form. Son, I think he's fully fit. He'll be very disappointed of them getting beat by Jordan in the semis, and I think he'll be up for it and he'll want to start. And he's going to be captain, so he'll start. And Richarlison stays up top as it is. Kulusevski, for me, he's not been on form, hence why I've dropped him. Probably him, Bissouma, to come off the bench as impact, I think will be great. I don't know. Agree with that, Sean, or do you think it'll be slightly different?
I must admit, I'm looking in the comments, and I'm liking the look of David Clark's front three. Where he's played, where he swaps Son for the right hand side. Richarlison stays down the middle and Werner on the left. But I mean, it's a nice choice to have, isn't it? I mean, I don't think you can drop Richarlison at the minute.
No.
And does seem to have a soft spot for Kulu, so it's going to be interesting, isn't it? It's going to be interesting. I think I would probably go Son on the right, Richarlison in the middle, and Werner on the left. But to be fluid, it just doesn't seem to happen. It used to happen at Celtic that Jota would swap from right to left as and when. So I would like to see that where they start doesn't necessarily be where they play for the whole 90 minutes. Like after 15 minutes it's not working, they move about a bit, and Son goes back left and Werner try Werner on the right, because there's nothing better than putting doubt in the mind of a defender when they're not sure who they're up against.
Yeah.
Particularly they've been told this is who they've been given an option. This is who you'll be up against, and they're prepared for it. And then you just throw in something a bit left field, and it's not the player that they were expecting. And they don't have the skills, or they don't have the game play to stop that attacker. So I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that's what he chose tomorrow. He definitely wants pace. Sonny and Johnson do give us pace. Has Werner done enough to warrant a rest? Maybe.
David is saying here, I bet the front three is different from yours, Sid. He's got his Son on the right, Werner on the left, and Richarlison down in the middle. Or Dinosaur's gone for Kulu, Richie, and Timo. Son will need a rest and de-stress. I don't think so, Dino. I think Son is fit. Son, and Postecoglou was asked that question, and he said, nope, he's fine. He's ready to go. He's just slightly disappointed from, like I said before, getting knocked out. And I think he won't want to sit on the bench. I think he's probably told Postecoglou, I'm starting. I want to get it out of my system. I want to get back into this team. And I want to get Spurs rolling again, because home game, there's no way. Maybe away, I might think, yeah, you might say, all right, well, he won't, but Postecoglou might say, yeah, have a rest. At home, there's no way he's resting. He'll want to come out and play tomorrow in front of the fans, 65,000 Tottenham fans, after you just got knocked out of the semi-finals. I'm sorry, he's starting. He starts. The right is going to be the issue, I think, for me. And I think you said it as well, and I think Dino's saying it, David's saying it as well. Does he go with Johnson, Kulu, or Werner? I don't know. Honestly, it's a tough call, because Werner's done all right on the left. We've not seen him yet on the right. Or he has a little bit against, I think, City in the Cup when they switched over. Johnson's been hit and miss on the right. Kulu's been hit and miss on the right. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Johnson's best performances for us, the ones where he's been most effective, have been when he's on the right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so I don't think it's if he's not there, he's on the bench.
100%. Yeah, because Sonny comes in straight on that left. End of.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, Sonny's not going to play on the right. I think Sonny is better on the left, unless he goes with Sonny on the right and Werner on the left. I don't know. But this from the defense onwards, it's an absolutely brilliant problem for Postecoglou now to have. It's a jigsaw puzzle that he's going to have to play with and put the pieces in the right places. You know what I mean? And what I think he's been waiting for this he did have it at the beginning of the season, didn't he? But now, until the end of the season, he's got a consistent run now with them 5, 6 here, plus the likes of Werner, Bissouma. You know what I mean? So it's going to be
a week between games as well, Sid, with a possible exception of 2. I think he's got possibly only 2 midweek games, which will be like the rescheduled Chelsea and I think West Ham away is also midweek. I think the rest of them are all weekend games. So he's got he's got a nice choice to make.
It's gonna be very, very interesting for Mr. Postecoglou. So obviously, before we go on to the score prediction, Sean, just like to remind everybody what happens when Tottenham Hotspur play Brighton and Hove Albion. And here's a little bit of some goals. Yo!
Ooh.
There you go. Tottenham Hotspur goals versus Brighton up until about 6-7 seasons ago. Might have seen a few there. Dele Alli scoring that blinder. Gareth Bale with his header on his comeback to Tottenham.
Yeah.
A couple of Harry Kane ones, Sons, a couple of deflected goals. So there. Hope you enjoyed that one. Right.
If we can get some of the goals with those quality, that'll be more than happy.
Of course. So that now brings me then on to the score prediction. Everybody in the comment section, please. Let's have a look. Let's have your score predictions for tomorrow. Sean, what are you saying then? What do you think will be the score at 4:50, 5 o'clock?
I'm going purely with my heart here. Purely with my heart. And,
just before you tell, Pedro is not playing for them. He's injured, right? So
yeah,
their man in form, the one, I think he absolutely played a blinder against us as well. He's been their main man. So he's out of the game tomorrow, injured. So it's going to be a massive miss for them. So bearing that in mind now, and all our players have come back, Sean. Go on, tell me your score.
I'm going 3-1.
3-1 to Spurs.
Yeah, we're going to concede in the 92nd minute. Just to annoy a certain person in our WhatsApp group.
Oh, I like you. 92nd minute goal. David Clark is saying Spurs 4, Brighton 2, Richie 2, Son 2. David, is that sweet revenge from when they beat us 4-2, 28th of December? Who's your goal scorer, Sean?
I'm gonna go. I'll go Maddison, Son, and Richie.
Maddison, Son, and Richie. Maddison hasn't scored yet, has he, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Has he not scored at the stadium?
Nope, he scored away. He's not scored yet at home.
No, I thought he had.
No, Maddison hasn't scored yet. I'm sure. If anybody in the comment section can correct me, but I am sure, and I think I heard it as well, that I'm sure he said he's not scored at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium yet. So David thinks we're going to go 2-0 down and storm back to win.
4-2.
Wow. Do you know what? I was listening to a lot of radio today, and all the pundits on the radio, all the presenters, they were like relishing watching the game tomorrow. And basically they were like, this is the one game, if you want to watch for goals and entertainment, this is the game to watch this weekend, because both teams will play really well. They both deliver, as well as conceding. And that's when I think Stan Collymore said Spurs have scored 12 in the last 4 or 5 games, but conceded 11. So as much as we're scoring, we're conceding. And both teams like to score, both teams like to concede. But again, it's this clean sheet for me. And they've got Duncan, they've got, if they do what the last 2 teams done to us, long Everton and Brentford, long balls, crosses, then I think we'll concede. But I honestly think we're going to win. I think we're going to win 3-1. And I think, like Sam said at the beginning, we've got a run of 3 home games now. I think we've got Brighton, then we've got Wolves, and then, if I'm correct, Shawnee, who is the third one? Brighton, Wolves, and then we've got Crystal Palace. So we've got 3 home games on the bounce now. 1 week after each other, like you said, Sean. There's no excuse now, like Sam said, no excuse for results. We have to start winning these 3 games, because we've got to start taking maximum points. We've got
9 points is the least we expect for the next 3 games. Yeah. I actually think Maddison scored for us at home to Fulham.
Did he?
That's what I just looked the stat up.
Oh, okay. I might be wrong then. 23rd of October, you mean? Oh, yeah, he did. 54. Okay, yeah, he did. Okay, I might got mine wrong somewhere then.
Yeah, because I think remember him, he was interviewed post-match. He said, "I wanted to get a goal at home at long last," so he was quite chuffed with it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he wants a memorable chant as well with his name in it, but
yeah,
they haven't really come up with one yet.
they haven't, have they?
No, I think Madison deserves one if anyone does.
People have come and copied his goal celebration, haven't they? But hey ho, But yeah, 3-1. I think Son will score. I think Richarlison continues his spree of goals, and I
mean, let's give Richarlison his flowers for those 2 goals last week. The technique on that first goal, it was behind him, it was off the ground, and he still managed to keep it down enough into the roof of the net. Absolutely spectacular. And then obviously as soon as he hit the second one, it was in. You could see that Pickford was not getting that, but wasn't getting anywhere near that. But phenomenal. I mean, it's incredible what that surgery and his off-field interventions, mentally have done him a power of good. And
absolutely,
I love it. Long may it continue.
And no goals conceded is a good goal, but we have not conceded a goal this season, what I call a clean goal. All the goals we have conceded have been ridiculous. It's true. There's no clean goal at Tottenham. It's like somebody's laundering goals through candy shops in Oxford Street in London. No one has actually scored a decent goal against us where we can turn around and say, you know what, fair play. We've either given the ball away or they've been sloppy goals or something, ridiculous. So let's hope that doesn't continue. Well, let's hope it continues where they get a sloppy goal tomorrow, but I don't think so. But yeah, 3-1 for me, in my opinion. We get the 3 points and we move on then. Sean, final thoughts for tomorrow's game. What would you be saying?
For those of you like yourself going to the game or we might be at the game, throw your arms metaphysically around our captain. He's had a tough week. He's had to carry his country on his back, but he's back home amongst his friends. You can see him smiling again in the socials, Tottenham socials. But yeah, just really get behind him and really lift him, and if he scores, just take that roof off with your cheering.
100%.
Come on, you Spurs.
This is it. All I can say, I think we're 3 games home on the bounce. Let's just get the 3 points. Good performances. No excuses, like Sam said as well. All the boys are back. The bench, I think somebody mentioned it, the bench is going to look good. We're going to actually have players now, a good bench where, like for like, if he wants to, bring players on. Players get knackered. At least now we know that he can bring someone on who's going to replace that player, sort of like for like. It's going to be very good. It's going to be a good 3-4 months now for Spurs fans, because this is what we all wanted. All the boys back together again. And let's see how they perform. So starting tomorrow, 3 massive points at Brighton. Send them back. Send the Seagulls back empty-handed, packing, flying, whatever you want to call it. And then we move on. So if you haven't already subscribed to PRTV Spurs, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. PRTV, Paxton Road TV probably be non-existent very soon. So if you've got people that have already subscribed to that, swing by over to PRTV Spurs, because that's where all the content's going to be. All your previews, reactions, talking points, Judge Jodi, everything and anything. Thank you for joining us, guys. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Come on, you Spurs. Let's get the 3 points tomorrow. And make sure you join us to the reaction show either tomorrow, straight after the game, or once we've calmed down, Sunday afternoon, while you're having your lunch, we'll do the reaction show on Sunday. Have a great evening. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Develop,